I got 6 responses. 2 of them said something about growing my business or getting business while being authentically me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh.
That's
Okay.
it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. It's great to be back with you again today to talk to another amazing member of the Flip Lifestyle community, see how their journey is going toward online income and help them take it to the next level. And my guest today is Valerie Weber. What's up, Valerie?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. We're here. We're talking. We're doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I put out an all points bulletin on the email list the other day for our members. And I said, hey, we're looking for cool stories of people taking action who've actually gotten out there, gotten some sales, and we want to see how you got there and see how we can take it to the next level. And the bat signal went up and you answered the call. And I love some of the stuff that you got going on right now. But before we get to that, tell everybody just a little bit about your background, a little bit about your online business idea, and talk about where it's at right now with customers.
Yeah. So I have been selling real estate full-time in Charleston. I've been doing various things before that, but full-time in Charleston for 7 years now. And I love it. It's my full-time job. It's been wonderful. I feel like I've kind of made it as far as I wanted to go with it. And for the past 2 years, I've just been kind of wanting to start an online business. Truly, I just want to be able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, and wherever I want to do it, even though
I think all real estate agents are closet entrepreneurs, and they just kind of got under a brokerage to kind of practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we totally are. And there is a degree of flexibility there, and then there is a degree of no flexibility there. I was just like,
can we meet for that house on Saturday at 6:30 at night?
Exactly. Or, Christmas Eve or
gosh,
while you're on vacation or anniversary. So it just kind of never stops. And when it's inconvenient, it really can be inconvenient, which is okay. I know that came with the territory. I knew what I was signing up for. And there's certainly pros and cons. There's fantastic pros, of the business. But I was just starting to be like, I just want an online business. I kind of want to do something different, something new. I had no idea what I wanted it to be. I just wanted an online business. I wanted no limitations at all. That's just the person I am.
Sure.
And so my life coach actually suggested coaching. And I was like, never even thought of it. So I started doing some one-on-one coaching. And then I was just like, this is great. I really like it because I do really love to help and teach, which is something that I didn't really know that I liked, but I'm learning more about myself. And
you did it, so you figured it out. See, that people think they're supposed to figure it out first. You got to do it and know what you don't like.
Exactly. So I feel like that's actually one of the things that is a great personality trait of mine is that I take an idea and I just run with it and I just go and I just do it and I just figure it out along the way. And I'm very what's the saying? Done is better than perfect. So 100%. I was like, let's just do it. And also,
it ain't got to be perfect. It's just got to be done. Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll learn along the way with coaching these people, what people want to learn so that I can format this and maybe move it to group coaching. And then I have just been hearing more about memberships. And I was like, let's do a membership for the MRR, that monthly recurring revenue, because
that's right. That's
what I'm talking about. My business is strictly commission based. And while I certainly never feel like I'm chasing my next sale because I have a very established business, it's just a commission based business. So you have to
it's always lurking in the back of your head. What if nobody wants to buy a house next month?
Yeah. Right? So there's that. It's just the nature of the business. So I was like, okay, I want an online business. I want a little bit more stability. I want something a little bit different because I was talking to somebody about this. I was just like, I don't know. I really like my job. I really do. But I'm just feeling like I want to do something.
Well, you can do both. That's the thing. It's you don't have to. I'm a speaker, right? So I go speak and then I come home and do online business. I literally have 2 completely different gigs and revenue streams. And they're often not related. I mean, I tell the same stories pretty much everywhere I go, but at the same time, it's just a totally different industry when you're out running around and traveling and stuff. And then how long have you been a real estate agent again?
I got licensed in 2015, but I was an assistant and then I sold in Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
There's been some movement, but
7 to 10 years. Yeah. Ish. It's funny, how we talked about this off air. I don't know if we said it yet, but the 7-year itch that people get.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was talking to, I think my life coach about it. I was just like, I don't know. I really do like my job. I'm just looking for I don't really know. I just feel like I want to do something different. And she was like, yeah, probably because most people at the 7, 8 year point have moved companies or roles or gotten promotions and are doing something different. And you've truly been doing the same thing
Yeah.
essentially for 7 years, over 7 years.
I think that's a real thing. Like it comes up in like, I was just talking on another podcast that I recorded about how like our bodies literally replace all of our cells every 7 to 10 years. Like you're not even physically the same human being you were a decade ago.
Totally.
And we're
Totally.
just expected to work the same thing for 50 years and like everything is identical every day. That's horrific. That makes me want to create. That's one reason I wanted to, that we started like our online business in the beginning is I just wanted to be able to, if I had to do this similar thing every day, I at least wanted something to be different about it. Like when I talk to you, it's a completely different conversation on the podcast than somebody else with a different business. And but you have to reinvent yourself all the time. Like we had the 7 year itch kind of about 4 or 5 years ago about all of our businesses. And we started a live event company out of nowhere just to try some new challenge to do
Yeah,
something
yeah,
totally
exactly,
different.
exactly. That's what
So
I'm just an entrepreneurial, I feel like I just have the entrepreneurial spirit.
the
I'm just like,
dreaded
let's do something else. Like
serial entrepreneur. It's a
yeah, I
serial
grew a
entrepreneur.
successful business and now I just want to grow another successful one. And for a while I didn't
Heck
know what it
yeah.
was, but
Well,
I went
let's do it.
and
All right. So
yeah,
what is your online business now? I know you've got 12 members in
yeah,
the membership. You just launched 2 months ago, so that's amazing.
yes,
Good job.
yes, yes,
12 actual human beings saw your value and gave you money for that.
yeah.
That's
I'm
pretty cool.
very excited about it. It's called the Inspire Society.
Okay.
So it's a membership and community for real estate agents. So I'm doing it is the community, which is actually kind of cool about it, is that a few, probably actually like 30 to 40% of the agents are local to me, which is really cool. So I'm doing a monthly meetup with them. But
That's cool.
the gist of the membership is a lot of like lead generation stuff and action items and helping agents get good at their job and growing their sphere of influence and doing it all authentically
Mhm.
and not and organically and not the traditional ways that a lot
Yeah.
of us are taught.
Are you targeting females mostly?
I'm not targeting females, but I think that's who's resonating, and I think that's just who it's probably going to end up being mostly,
Yeah.
um, but not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I would get necessarily, you know what I'm saying? It's really good
Yeah,
early on like this, like especially if you can just look at those 12 people and start building out a profile of who gave you
yeah,
money.
yeah.
Are there guys in there right now, or is it mostly
No,
ladies?
I did a webinar that a guy joined. He happens to be local who saw me post somewhere, and I remember speaking to him right before he got into the business, so we have a little bit of a connection. But I haven't I
Yeah,
haven't
for sure.
attracted any men
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in my business.
That's okay. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean, the Inspire Society has a very feminine power to it. Like
yeah,
I can feel that. You're a very feminine person if you're watching on YouTube, like you're projecting yourself
mhm,
and your authentic self is drawing in people like you.
yeah.
And also too, like I would assume there are more real estate agents that are men.
I actually don't know the statistic on that, but I would say in my area, I would say it's probably more women.
Yeah.
I think I would say like a 60-40.
Let's ask ChatGPT. Oh, wow. As of 2024, get this. It says percentages vary slightly depending on the source, but approximately 60 to 75%, 60 to 67% of real estate agents in the United States are women. That's
Okay. Yeah.
crazy. So how many
Yeah.
real estate agents are there in America? So what we're doing right now is figuring out the size of the market for
Yeah.
you. So there's 2 million active real estate licenses in the United States,
Okay.
and 60% of those are women. So if you just
I'll take all of them.
exactly, let's get all 1 million women in this membership for the Inspire Society, right? But that's good because like you can if you target your messaging down a little bit as you build this thing
Yeah.
now that you've got some traction, like it'll just dial in how you're speaking, who like only interview women on your show or whatever it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But dialing in that avatar from what showed up, what you see, who you are, and now we have this addressable market of 1 million women out there.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
You need like 500 of them, and you
Totally.
got an amazing online income coming in.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get women in this membership who are going to work together to get leads and go out and be better real estate agents.
Hmm.
And you're going to teach them how to do that because you've got the chops, you got a successful business, you got money coming in, you've got sales coming in,
Hmm.
you've built this, and now you can help other people do it as well. So how did you get your first members? Like, do you have content that you're creating? You did a webinar, but how'd you get people to come to the webinar?
So when I first was doing the one-on-one coaching, I was marketing that in my main Instagram account, the Charleston Home, which is my main. And so I was giving a freebie to get those people.
Yeah.
So I grew a very, very small email list of like 15 from
Okay.
from the one-on-one coaching. And then from here on out, yes, from the webinar. So I do everything on Instagram and the webinar,
Perfect.
which I just will like boost ads, which I need to do more and be better about. But I boost
What
ads.
is your Instagram called? The what?
The dot. Oh, which one? My membership one or
Whatever one got you people to give you money, basically.
the Inspire Society.
The
The
Inspire.
dot Inspire Society. That's my membership account. But before I did the membership, I was marketing everything on my irregular account.
How many people follow you on your regular account?
Like,
That one's more for like local real estate and stuff, though. Is that what you're doing there? Or is it?
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
it's more of a I'm like a lifestyle account, but I think I have like 8,700 followers on the Charleston
Okay.
Home. And then
Do you talk a lot about real estate and stuff on there?
yeah,
Do you? Okay, cool.
it's not a
Yeah.
real estate account, but I do
Yeah.
talk about real estate on there.
Interesting. Because that's a lot of followers. You know what I'm saying? It's the dot
No,
Charleston.
no, no, no. The Charleston Home is just the Charleston Home, and then the Inspire Society is the dot.
You have 8,730 followers. Hidden gem. Yeah. So this is a very personal, lifestyle focused account. And
Yes.
then you're pushing people. Now you're talking on the other account a lot about real estate and things like that. Like you're really dialing in the focus there.
So
Basically.
the Charleston Home is, and I love that you can't tell that I'm a real estate agent on the Charleston Home because that's on purpose.
Yep.
I make my account a lifestyle Charleston account about my life, things I do, and then I also talk about real estate a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't lead with it being
Got
a
it.
real estate
But
account.
the Inspire Society you do,
But the Inspire
basically.
Society is my membership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you creating
Yeah.
any other content besides Instagram?
I have somebody working on Pinterest for me, and she will create pins on my Inspire Society stuff.
Yeah.
But no, that's
Okay.
it. About
That's
it.
okay. That's okay. Like there's, I mean, every business basically works like this. From discovery to purchase, you're like, okay, I'm doing something publicly to create content.
Hmm.
People find me there, like me, like my personality, like my content, like what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
They then take your freebie or whatever and they go on your email list. And
Hmm.
then you do webinars and email marketing and even social media marketing to get them
Hmm.
there. I'm not
Yep.
like so concerned about anymore, like people like you have to have a podcast or you have to have a YouTube channel or you got to have a blog or anything like that, because I know a lot of people that are just using platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram to
Yeah.
grow huge followings, and they use DM marketing, like, right, get people to DM you for the
Hmm.
freebie, get
Yep.
them to come
Yep.
into that. So you could
Mhm.
totally, but the only thing I worry about Instagram is the short nature of it, like to show expertise. Like it's giving quick 1 minute tips on your reels. Your story is kind of cool, but
Yeah.
is there anywhere to do something longer? But it sounds like you're just using the webinar for kind of that. Like,
Yeah.
come
So
learn how to get leads.
I've done two trainings and I've done them live and I have recorded them. And so I've put those out into my email list, and then I'll make a reel that I'm trying to get. I'll use ManyChat to try to get the comments to send them
Gotcha.
to get their email address to send them the training.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean, I need to like create a true funnel. That's what
Yeah.
I need to do next, is have those funnels living so that I can have an actual funnel for those two
Yeah.
trainings. To get
So
people.
where do you feel the most stuck right now? Where do you feel like you need the most support, the most help? Is it talking about funnels? Is it talking about I don't feel any fear or mindset issues from you. I don't sense a lot of imposter syndrome. I kind of sense more like, I know what I'm doing, people. You better follow me, right?
Oh my
Like
God.
I
That's
know the
funny.
vibe I'm getting is not like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there. It's like, I want to be out
No,
there everywhere, right?
no, 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 no. That's actually funny. A therapist one time told me, I don't sense any shame from you. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, you're trauma free. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Good
right.
times, right?
Rare, rare bird.
Rare bird.
So I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I'm not afraid to take chances. I think that what I'm struggling with the most is hammering down my messaging
Yeah.
and exactly what I'm delivering. And I've been tweaking my profile and I've been trying to attract followers by going to similar accounts of agents that might be interested in following me and seeing how many follow me back. I'll follow like 5, 6 of their photos so that they come look at me and be like, oh, do I want to follow her? And I'm trying to
Yeah.
do some testing on what profile description is resonating with people because I'm having a hard time I need like my shtick. Like I need
Yeah. You need your gimmick. You got to have a
my
gimmick.
gimmick, my tagline. I actually majored in advertising. I should be better at this, but
Don't
yeah,
should yourself. Don't should, my friend. Stop shitting
I never
yourself right
actually
now.
did advertising. I mean, I guess I kind
Right.
of did in real estate, but yeah, that's my hardest thing is what is like, do I need to find the pain point or do I need to find the their aspiration or a little bit of both? And that's really my hardest thing and finding time to do it all. But
Yeah.
that's really my biggest struggle. I think once I can really figure out my messaging, I can just take that
Yeah.
and run it everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that can come from an avatar profile. Like you should sit down
Yeah.
like for like an hour with every one of your 12 members each and just
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, I want to coach you for an hour personally. I'm not going to sell you anything. I just
Mhm.
want to get to know you better."
Yeah.
And then kind of take your questions and kind of guide them to what you want to hear, like what attracted you to the Aspire Society? Like what's your biggest pain point? But I'm guessing that you've already figured it out. It's getting leads. That's what every single real estate agent wants more than anything else. And then you're wrapping it in a wrapper of you. I wonder if you could take the lifestyle, like you grew this lifestyleish kind of brand. I'm looking at it. It's family photos, doing stuff with your kids, all that good stuff, right? I'm wondering if you could take that vibe and just take what you've already done that works and put it on the Inspired Society's Instagram. Like when you get to a house, turn on Instagram and record a reel of, hey, before you go, go turn on all the lights, like all the things you think a real estate agent should know.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you could bring that documentary lifestyle experience that you've already got and just start making content basically everyday work. Like wherever you go, turn on a reel. I'm in my car, I'm going somewhere. You get to the house, like, check this out. I'm walking through this house. It's got a cool little living room or something.
Hmm.
And go through that and just do exactly what you've done on your other Instagram to grow it to 8,000 people, but do it in a what are real estate agents actually looking for? They're looking for leads. They're looking for how to show a house. They're looking for everything. There's new real estate agents all the time as well, too.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is like a few of the members are new or newer. There's a couple that are more experienced. So I'll backtrack a little bit. That's a great idea to sit down with them a little bit more. And
Oh, yeah.
actually, I did do, I sent out a survey last week and I asked them like, why did you join? I can't remember the exact questions now, but like what attracted you essentially? Are you getting what you came for? What has been your favorite part? And anyway, the first question was like, what did you come to what did you join the Inspire Society for? And I got 6 responses. 2 of them said something about growing my business or getting business while being authentically me.
Hmm.
And I was like, ooh,
That's it.
okay. So
Yeah.
I
Be,
just
be
changed
a
my
real
mind on
estate
that.
agent and be authentically you, right?
Yes. Right.
That's the gimmick right
Yeah.
there. Because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
being authentic and you're doing it on Instagram. It's like, that's it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
to hear that twice, I was like, ooh, okay. That might be what it is and I do talk about that because I talk about how I don't do the traditional, I don't do cold calling, I don't do door knocking, I don't do like tons of postcards, like I don't do all of that. It's just kind of me showing up in the world and just making sure that a lot of people know who I am and I know
Yeah.
a lot of people
Yeah.
and casting a wide net. So, but yeah, so I think I made some headway on the authentic word.
It doesn't sound like to me, like just listening to you, like it doesn't sound like you haven't found a gimmick. It's sounding like you won't lean into the gimmick a little bit more. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
guess
Yeah.
I guess I'm just so like have so many ideas and thoughts that I don't know how to just whittle it down to like a couple sentences
Yeah.
about like what do people want to hear? Like I know what I'm giving essentially. It's also like I don't know exactly how to describe what I'm giving and I don't know how to get like what are the words? What are the things that are going to attract the people? Like what are they looking for, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like it was 7 years ago and it was a little bit different. Things are just like social media and stuff because I
Are
do.
they though? Are they though? Like, okay, I've been in the
Well,
game. I've been in the game since 2011. Okay.
yeah.
And like, I can tell you right now that the fundamentals are the same. Everything that people are posting now was what people were posting in 2012. And what people are
Mm.
looking for is the same. You know what people are looking for? They're looking for how to do their job better. They're looking for how to get more sales. They're looking to live an authentic life. And those are all things that you do in spades, like already on your Instagram channel. You just have to transfer it over to this real estate one and have that real estate spin on it. Like when you could probably talk about the same content that you're talking about over on the other Instagram channel, but do it in your nice outfit outside of a house with a for sale sign. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's kind of the same thing. And if you're talking about like a one sentence to rule them all, you might say like, "Hey, I'm Valerie. I help women real estate." I'm just saying words. We can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
edit.
Sure.
I help women real estate agents grow their business, get more leads, and still be their and live their authentic life.
Hmm.
That,
Yeah.
like, be overt totally with it and just put that in your bio. And then now when you make content, it's like, okay, what am I going to record today that's going to help people grow their business? Because you can't just hold all the good stuff inside of you,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So if you do something that gets you 5 leads, you immediately pull the phone out and start talking about, hey, I just got 5 leads. Here's how,
Right.
right?
Yes, I have done some of that. I
Do
have,
more of that. Like do that
yeah.
like every time you get a lead. How did you get the lead and tell everybody about it?
I do, and that's actually something. This is so embarrassing, but I did have you heard of that little trend about like roast my Instagram feed?
No, I've not. No.
You ask Chat GPT to roast my Instagram feed,
Wait, what? And it
and
will
you
so roast my Instagram feed. Oh, I'm gonna do this.
yeah. So you, I think you like. I had to go to some other link. I tried to do it in Chat GPT, and then I couldn't figure it out. So I Googled it and it sent me to some link, and you to screenshot your feed, and then it asked you to roast, but then it didn't roast. So then I was like, okay, I asked it to savagely roast. Anyway, I couldn't quite get it. So I ended up asking it to savagely roast, and it savagely roasted my thing. Because what I'm doing right now in the Inspire Society page is talking a lot about my success and how I've gotten that lead and how many leads I've gotten. And I feel like I do need to be giving a little bit more value. Like I'm trying to prove, I guess I'm trying to prove that like I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. So I want to make sure people know that I'm legit and like I have success and I want to share it, but I feel like I maybe need to share more for free. I don't really know because Chat GPT said that.
That's a content issue. Like my rule with content, like what I share for free and what I have a rule that I share everything. I'll talk about anything on this podcast. If I may teach you something that I teach in the Flip Lifestyle Blueprint that I charge for, because you don't sell content. All content wants to be free anyway. And what you sell is the curated version of the content and then support to help people hold them accountable and get through it. So there is no filter on your feed. I just typed in roast Shane Sams and Flip Lifestyles Instagram feed, and it said, Shane, we get it. You're super positive. But sometimes it's like you're channeling a motivational poster from the early 2000s minus the cat. This is incredible. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the afternoon. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. Sprinkle in some real talk about the last time your laptop crashed and you lost an email. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, this is absolutely
That's
amazing.
so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I may do these for a week and just post it up and just roast my own account
Yep.
on
Yep. There you
Instagram. That's
go.
pretty
Well,
good.
it was insightful when I did it. I was like, okay, okay. All right, I hear you. I hear you. I should tone it down a little bit.
Do you have like are you posting like ad hoc on Instagram or do you have like a calendar and a plan?
I wing my entire life.
Me too. I have to. It takes a village to raise Shane Sams. And
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to get to that place, but currently I just think of something and I do it.
well, how about we do this? Let's do a simple exercise. Like we don't have to write them all out right now.
Yeah.
Don't over plan because you'll drive yourself insane because that's not who
Hmm.
you are. But like write down like 12 things you want to talk about,
Yeah.
regardless if it's free or if it's paid,
Hmm.
and try to just theme the next 12 weeks based on that, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
house showing, like maybe that's a week, right? Record a quick 1 minute video everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't feel like comfortable showing people's houses or whatever, I don't know what the rules are on that, but like just show yourself in the car in the driveway. Show yourself, talk about how you just did
Mhm.
something. Talk about how you're going to get people out there. Bend your content toward documenting the real world stuff you do that proves your knowledge base, and start ending every reel with DM me for more information, right? Like start getting leads that way for your online business.
Yeah.
And then once a month, and the webinar converted, you got people in your membership. Like you've got to get that video on your sales page, and you got to, and all paths have to lead to that webinar that converted people. You could do one live a month, and then all your Instagram traffic in the DMs, click it over to a sales page where that video lives,
Yeah.
and just start pushing it out there.
So do you think the sales page should have the video up there just
Oh yeah.
as they can just totally access it, not like I got to email it to you. I want your email address so that you can access it.
Oh no, no, you would say, hey, so this was what was the training on? What was the title of the webinar?
Well, there's two, but we'll just say sell your first house.
Okay, sell your first house. That's a great. So that's your entry level lead magnet.
Yeah.
So the Manny chat might say someone you might say in a post like DM me for more information. When they get to the Manny chat, you're like, hey, I've got a free training to help you sell your first house. And then you ask for the name and email, and then you direct them to the page where that training lives. And that page itself is the sales page,
Okay.
is a sales page like for your membership if they want to move on. That way, every DM becomes a lead. Every
I
DM
see.
becomes a part of your list.
Okay, so when they land on that page, they can either literally sign up right now, or in the least, they can watch the training right now, but I've already gotten their email address.
All right, let me pull up a funnel and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so let's imagine that someone Manny chatted you and you said, "Hey, I've got a free training on how to sell your first house. Love to give it to you for free." Okay, so then they have a link or whatever they do to get the name and the email. For ours, that we would, if it was an ad, they would click a link to this, and ours is find your idea for your online business, right?
Mm.
And what happens is when you click this and you give me your name and email, you'll go to a page where I'm going to deliver that training. I'm going to give you what I say. Here's our training up here, right?
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah.
But now it's just a sales page for the membership. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
You see what I mean? Like, so now everyone that lands here, they're happy. They're going to get their training. They're going to watch their training. At the end of the training, I'm going to pitch whatever I'm selling right here. But like that way, every single person that messages you from discovery to purchase, they find you on Instagram, they like your content, they send the DM because you're calling out for DMs. This is just DM marketing. And then you have a link there. Once they give you the name and email, they go straight to a page that delivers what you promised, how to sell your first house. But that's a Trojan horse. It's a webinar that teaches them these steps. But then it says, if you join the Inspired Society, you can come now. Now we have a funnel, and then they can buy and join the membership right there. But look how simple that is. It was 2 pages on my whole
Yeah,
website.
totally.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can drive traffic to it on Instagram and Facebook because you can run ads there. Like,
yeah,
are you a real estate agent who wants to sell your first house? Here's my free training. And then
yeah,
they click that, they go there, you get the name and email. Now you're following up on email. You're sending tips on
yeah,
email.
yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Same
that's
thing.
smart because I was thinking about, I mean, it's just nice to have the sales page layered in there because I would have
Yeah.
just done the funnel for them to get the
A
video
lot
and
of people
email.
stop at the delivery,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but what I've found more so is we have an opportunity to sell to this person who landed here right now.
Right,
And
totally. Might as well take that. Yeah.
yes, we know that most people aren't going to watch a lead magnet or even consume it correctly. But if they see that and they see there's more and they jump in, now we've got like a sale, right?
Yeah,
So
totally.
and you don't have to put the whole sales page under that video. Like if you're doing this strategy, like you've got the name and email, and then they land on a page with a video, you can just have a nice paragraph that says like, hey, this is the first step in my entire program where I teach people how to do this. Do you want to
Hmm.
not just sell your first house, but sell your first 10 houses? Maybe that's the gimmick. Sell your first 10
Yeah,
houses.
yeah.
Then they click a button that goes to the static sales page that always exists,
Hmm. Hmm.
but we're still moving them toward purchase. That's the key is don't just get found on Instagram, get their email and then get them to purchase as fast as they can. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I've also been doing the comment instead of the DM. So maybe I need to move that to the DM.
Yeah, you can do both. I mean, if someone says like, you can drop every post,
I
let
guess
it run
either
for a
way it
day or
goes to
two.
their DM.
All roads lead to the list. All lists lead to the purchase. That's the only thing you got to think about is how do I get all those Instagram people onto my list so I can contact them whenever I want. ManyChat creates lists as well. And then how do I get them to the sales page as fast as possible? And then once a month, teach that same course that you're giving away for free that like, let's say 100 people sign up for that, how to get your first house sold, right? I would bet 10 of them actually watch the training. That's just that's just how it works. I mean, that's the name. It's a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, at the end of the month, if you're inviting everyone that signed up to come watch that training live, now they've got a really good chance of showing up to something live. We can get about 20 or 30 more of them, and
Yeah.
then you sell the product at the end of that too, so they can buy
Yeah,
it
yeah,
there.
yeah. Yeah, I do want to get one live in every month just to
Yeah.
have and to so people can meet me and have a face-to-face more.
Yeah. And don't reinvent the wheel. You don't have to come up with new content. You could literally teach that same training every single month.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
to. And I like it because they're similar but different because one of them, Kate, one of them is for a new agent, one of them is for a more experienced agent, but it's a lot of the same content and it's such a good umbrella of like what I do and teach. So I'll probably keep that. I don't know if I'll
I'll tell you the most clarifying thing that you can do to understand. I mean, your gimmick and your brand is just going to come out of posting content. You're going to understand that, right?
yeah.
But the most important thing you can do is to get your story nailed down
Hmm.
but only the parts of the story that people need to hear. Like
Yeah.
you need to go back and you need to tell the story of when you became a real estate agent,
Hmm. Hmm.
when you sold your first house. That's a very important thing to talk about because that's what this training would be about. And you're trying to bring in new realtors. And then the story concludes kind of with how you built your lifestyle, how you kept your authentic voice, how you didn't listen to all the industry experts and what they did and it felt icky so you did something different.
Yeah.
And then get that story nailed down so tight that you can tell it in your sleep and it's the same story you tell everywhere that you go. Like you would be a great podcast guest. Like if you could go on real estate podcasts,
Yeah.
like go talk about, make that your hill to die on. I'll teach you how to sell your first 10 houses and keep your authentic self. And then I've told the same story on hundreds of podcasts and on stages all across America for 10 years because it's my story of how we did this. That will give clarity to the content you're supposed to make. When you know that story, you put that online.
I do talk about that in the beginning of both of those trainings. I actually do, but I should talk about it more in my other
All
content.
the time.
I
You tell
kind of
micro stories. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I might be on a podcast getting interviewed and they'll ask me like a question and one part of my story is they're like Legos. That's what I consider them.
Mm-mm.
It's like a big pile of Legos that build my story. And I might reach over and grab the blue six-sided part of the story for whatever question they asked me. But I'm always trying to say those same things. Almost all of my messaging is about finding your idea and building your funnel. Because once you do those two things, you're fine. You can just go make content now.
Yes,
But you
exactly.
got to have that. You got to have that so dialed in that
Yeah.
every day you sit down to post on Instagram, that story is in your head. And how do you get it
Yeah,
out
that's
to
true.
the
Yeah,
masses?
you're totally right. I do talk about how I don't do the traditional things, but I also which is what I think that's like my shtick. It's like it's not I don't do the traditional things, but I also don't talk about very much how I did used to do those things.
Okay. So
So,
here's exactly what I would do in this situation. Okay. I would write down when you say the traditional things and the things you started out doing, right? Give me one example of those.
Cold calling,
Okay.
expired listings.
All right. Let's take cold calling because it sounds horrifically. No one wants to do that, right? So,
It was awful.
oh yeah, I've never done cold calling, and I never want to do cold calling. But like, take
Yep.
that. Here's easy content, right? Because all right, so your story is I became a real estate agent and I learned how to let my authentic self come through, and I can help you do the same thing. That's your story, right? At
Yeah.
a nutshell level.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then what you do is in your public, that watch how it focuses your content. Well, I do real estate not in the traditional way. We'll list out 12 traditional things and make content on crushing, throw stones at those as hard as you can. Like do a whole week of just like, oh, cold calling sucks. I was talking to a friend the other day. They called 100 people and nobody bit. They just wasted an entire afternoon. I don't do cold calling. I do something else. And then you talk about something else you do, but it pours out of that authentic voice and that story that you have. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally.
I would love a real estate channel that was like just totally like bashing the traditional ways of driving for dollars. That's real
I
estate
mean,
investing. All that crap.
I do a little bit of that, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't want to bash too hard. Obviously, I'm not bashing that hard, but
Bash.
there's a thing where a lot of agents have in their profile, buy, sell, invest, and it's like, we know, everybody knows that that's what we can do for you. I just think it's taking up space
Yeah.
in your profile,
Oh yeah.
and so I did do a
So
real
become the anti-hero, the person that just bashes all those things
totally.
and talks
I
about all
even
that
that's
stuff.
even what I say sometimes is that I feel like I'm the anti-real estate agent. I feel like my
That's great.
has kind of been the anti want to do nothing of what we're traditionally supposed to do.
That I put that in your bio, the anti-real estate agent.
Yeah.
How to sell real estate and keep your authentic self. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can have all kind of caricatures and like
Yep.
Instagram posts of like, I don't know. You got to be careful how far you push it. You don't name names
I know.
to protect the innocent, right?
I know. I know.
Name
And sometimes
general
I feel bad
caricatures.
because I don't want to upset the agent who does have that buy, sell, invest. I don't want to, I got to find the fine line of like teasing about it,
Yeah. But I mean, if as long as you're not pissing off agents that you work with locally, who cares?
Yeah. But
Just block
yeah.
block all, make a 25-mile radius around Charleston where you don't show ads, right? And just
I
keep
don't
them
have to see
out of
them
the
in
wheelhouse.
person.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. If it's people in person, you're doing a great job. I love the traditional way you do things. But if it's a random person, be like, you suck. I can't believe you're cold calling. Why are you doing
out
that?
of your profile now? It is doing
Right.
nothing.
Did
for
you actually put cold calling in your Instagram bio? I am not going to your link tree, and that's just how it is.
Definitely
Yeah.
not clicking your link tree if you say you cold call.
So let's steer this back around for some next steps. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the first thing that I would definitely do is especially those two people who really did a good job on sending your survey back, offer them all a coaching call. That's how you present it and really help them on the call for an hour, but weave in like that really like voice, like trying to look for the things that they anchored to. The second thing for sure on the content is go in this direction of documenting what you're doing and throw stones at the tradition. Because the more you say, don't do this, they're going to be looking for what they should do, which is join your membership, right? And then set up your funnels to be very simple. Give away that how to sell your first house or how to sell your, first 10 houses or something, whatever you want to call it. And like really promote that mentality of, hey, if you come here, I'll show you how to do this without cold calling, without all this other stuff. You can make it happen the way you want it to. And build that funnel 3 pages. Instagram is where they find it. The message takes them to a page where they opt in. You got to deliver, give them the video and let that sell the membership. And then it's just a content storm at that point. Just make as much as you can.
Yeah. And then I'm sure you have some kind of drip campaign that drips on them after that.
Oh yeah. Once they join the email list, well, I'm a little different than most people. We have an autoresponder to make sure people are getting touched every so often. But I'm a big believer in planning out your calendar and then coming in and doing it in real time. Like we enjoy the process. Like next month is Halloween, right? So we were coming up with some Halloween ideas. Like one of the things I thought about doing was a podcast where I go to Halloween Express that just opened and I buy like 5 of the cheapest masks that I can find. So I would start the podcast wearing like 5 masks and I'd be like, these are the masks entrepreneurs have to wear. You know what I'm saying? And I would just pull them off throughout the thing and I'd be like, pull the last one off and I'd be sitting there. So some kind of like but that's what makes it fun is you're doing it like in
Yeah,
real
yeah, yeah.
time,
Yeah,
and
totally.
real time just works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
the most autoresponders we ever set up are like maybe like once every other week or something, just to make sure if we're out of town and we don't email the list that something
Right, right,
goes out.
right. I know. And I've been doing so I don't even really have anything set up right now, but I
All
want
good.
to. And I guess my question for you is, are you selling in that email every time, or are you giving with a sell?
I'm I'm usually my emails usually give. There's usually a promotion every month that we're trying to do something, right?
Oh,
Like we're having a back to school sale right now. This is recorded in
that's what
August.
I just did a sale,
Yeah.
and I'm afraid to do that too much because I don't want to devalue. I don't want them to be getting these sales every month and then they'll never want to pay full price.
Okay. Let me. That will not happen. Okay. You can probably do 2 or 3 sales a month as long as they're different and pointing in different directions. Here you got to remember 90% of people don't see 90% of people you send or that you post. They just don't see it. But what they do see it is they will see something eventually. And your job is to be in their feed or in their inbox when they're ready to see it, not worry about what they've seen in the past. Buy or unsubscribe, get off my list, right? So what you do is you just talk about like your Instagram posts, like email your list about, hey, I've just posted this thing on Instagram today to help you get new
Yeah, that's
leads.
true. That's a
I
good
think
idea.
that,
Yeah.
but then you can sneakily sell in the PS. That's what we do. Like
Right.
yesterday said, hey, we've got this new podcast. Jocelyn was on the podcast with me. Go listen to it. But then in the PS, it said, oh, by the way, we're also having a back to school sale. So I can sell in every email just by using the PS, like give them some value, PS. And then when we have a campaign, like a Black Friday sale, I can send 5 emails in a row, counting it down until it ends. So
That's what I did with the back to school.
yeah,
So I guess, yeah, all right. So I mean, I my mine is set up for them to join in 3 months increments. So it was like a 1 month free. So
yeah.
do you do like a 10% discount that month, a 1 month free that month? Like
Yeah,
how do
you
you,
kind of rotate it. Yeah, you
yeah.
want the mess. The way I do it is usually though by product. So like
Oh,
I
true.
might take a really good month and promote like the membership.
True.
Okay,
You have multiple products. Yeah.
exactly.
I
But
only
you
have
could,
one.
but if you have coaching that's like just say it's another tier for 500 a month or whatever.
Yeah, so I was thinking about because I'm like, what do I was like, I want to offer something else. Like I want to have a higher, lower, but I'm also like, okay, just like let's just let's just get this membership off and running.
Before we get too far down this rabbit hole,
Yeah.
you have an offer that converted.
Yeah.
That is magic. That's like
Yeah.
sorcery. Like that's where everyone's trying to get to because we say it all the time. If you can find one, there are other people that want that exact product. If you
Yeah.
sold 12, you need to focus all your energy right now on more people finding you.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
that's going and guesting, posting more content, being more strategic and planning out your calendar 12 weeks in ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go get more people to see that webinar that converted members
Yeah.
and try not to get distracted from that for the next 2 or 3 months. You can run sales and promotions and all that stuff, but like, how do you get more people to find you? Ads, social media posting, getting them in ManyChat. So think about your funnel. I got to get people to see my Instagram. I got to get them to send me a message or comment. I got to get those people to click this link that goes and gets their email, and then they'll watch the webinar on the sales page, and I can do live stuff to sell more memberships. Just focus on that part right now. Don't get too distracted by the 100 other things you could do.
I know. I
Just
know.
focus. Yeah, the game. If everyone just take this to heart, online business, the game